Okay, so let's take a look at something that I think is rather important here, at least on the physical scale of things. This is an eyeball. This eyeball, I'm pretty sure, is where all of this comes from. Get this thing going here. Here's this eye, the I am. You see how the light comes in? If, to give you an idea of how the eye works, if I put, oh, let's see, if I was to use this symbol and you were looking at it with your eye, this is how your eyes work. Let me move that symbol a little bit closer in. Okay, so you see it like that. So you'd see it like that. But in reality, that's the way that you think you're seeing it. But when it gets to your head, inside your brain, it comes out like that. And if you take the eyeball and you flip it on its side, you get the perfect seal. There's the seal right there. So when I showed you the other day, when I showed you this logo the other day, or it's all the same thing. We can take that out and we could put a Saturn in here. It doesn't matter, it's all the same thing. Because what's happening is it's flipping it upside down. If we look at this, just look at it. Here's the seal. Here's the same colors that we see over and over again. Remember, this machine can't lie. It won't lie. You just have to understand what it's telling you. That's the difference. The way that we see things is the way that we comprehend them. And the way that we see things is not necessarily how we see through our eyes. Like I told you, when Jesus came and healed the blind man, he made him see. He made him see on a different level. He made him understand. But this is just giving you a reference of how everything is fucked up here. This is what they fucked with partially. Everything that we think is upside down and backwards. And so the eye is the perfect example of how that's working. It's a perfect example. It's really upside down. And if this wasn't the case, you surely wouldn't find this in the eye, and that I am is this. Now you can equate it. The Saturn bit is the part that Saturn represents the cycle. Because people don't want to try and figure this shit out or go look beyond the fucking baseball or football games or whatever. They get involved in the cults, and they get involved in the religions. And what happens is they look to somebody to answer the questions for them. Again, that's why Jesus said, be like the little children, because what do? They just keep asking questions. Why? They don't stop. Because we're stuck in the cycle and we can't see how to break it. We're stuck in the cycle because we can't see it for what it is. We can't help it. Because we've never been taught the right way to see it. And that's the fucked up thing about it. Go look at how the eye works. It'll show you. The image comes in upside down. It comes in, it's right side up, then it gets flipped upside down. That's how, and then your brain has to process it. So all of these clues that they're leaving, you know, I mean, let's even go back to let's go back to this British-American War. Well, what did they wear? They wore the tri-corner hat. See, all of these symbols, they all, you know, they're all telling you the same story. It's just that those that understand it much better than us aren't willing to share it in a format that you can understand. They want to keep it for themselves and just gloat at how stupid you are. But see, you're not really stupid if you've never been shown it. If you've been shown it and you understand it, then you have no excuse. You understand? If you've been shown something and you understand it, and then you still are an idiot, then you're responsible. But the problem is this is a twofold problem. One is that people don't want to look. And the ones that do understand it don't want to share it so that people will look. See, it's a big fucking furball, a big fucking mess. And so you got guys like McCleary on his page running around saying, I'm so smart. I was born knowing everything. Well, if you're born knowing everything, why are you stuck where you're at? So you don't know every fucking thing, do you? Nobody does. So we can only go by what we have available to us. And what I mean, something running around saying I am, and the I has a seal in it, that's telling me that where the deception happens is it in the eye. This seal is what's keeping you from seeing the truth of things. And that's the seal. And we see this over and over again. We see that X all over the place. Now, look, of course, there's much more going on than that. But this is just a simple, you think about it, why would an artist use these colors? Like, ask yourself that. Why would an artist go out of his way to pick yellow, blue, and pink? Why would he do that? The same colors they're using here, and the same colors that they're using here. Here I showed you when you flip the picture upside down, you get a completely different perspective of it. But the thing is did I really flip this picture upside down, or did I flip it right side up? Because when it goes into your head, it flips upside down. So, is this really right side up, or is it really upside down? Don't know. There's a reason. This machine cannot lie. It can't. It has to tell you the truth. And so the fact that they're showing you the back of the eye with the same colors is telling me that I'm at least partially right about that. There's nothing spooky about the triangle with the fucking eye in it. There's nothing spooky about that at all. It's evil. It's considered the evil eye because it's keeping you a blind, deaf, and dumb kid. And when you don't know the truth, then you're walking around in evil. So this is all part of what they destroyed, what they fucked with. And part of that destruction occurred in your fucking head. That's why our brain is split into two halves. Because somebody took that middle part out. Which makes it impossible for you to use that middle part. So boo-hoo for all you people that think you got this thing in your forehead that works, because it don't. There's no connection to anything with that thing. You can imagine that, because that's what you're using is imagination. Remember this place? Remember this place? Imagination. Remember that? Imagination. That's the point. So, like I said, I'm still working on the other video. It'll make sense when you see it. You know, like I said, there's nothing spooky about fucking somebody giving you a triangle with an eye in it. They've changed the way that you perceive things, so you can't see things for what they are. And they've created this bullshit. Let's just take politics, for instance. Every idiot well, not every idiot, but everybody that's involved in the same shit of voting is running to buy the same used car that they bought fucking 4 years ago. It's broken down. It don't work. It never works. And yet they repaint it. They put a fucking they put a new price tag on it, and they put it out for sale, and everybody runs to get it. And the only thing that they changed was the color. It's the same piece of shit with the torn up seats and this fucking leaky engine and the fucking smoke coming out the tailpipe. It's exactly the same piece of shit it was when they parked it 4 years ago. But yet everybody thinks it runs better now because it's got a new coat of paint. Do you understand that how the hypocrisy, how stupid this is? How imbecilic is this? They've warped the way that we think. Warped means bent or twisted. And because they have a better idea how things work, they don't have it exact. But they have a much better idea how it works. They use that and lord it over us because they sure as fuck don't want us on an equal playing field, because then the gig is up. But once you see this stuff, you can't go back and be ignorant of it anymore because you already know. And that in itself becomes evil when you understand and you participate in it, then that itself becomes evil. So isn't it interesting how the eye has the seal in it itself? Because that's where the root of the deception comes from. Yourself in your eye. You know, I'm not trying to give you some philosophical bullshit. It's the way it works. But they've twisted everything and hidden the truth in plain sight. But you've got to get a grasp on it to start taking it apart. And most people don't want to go the few extra feet that it takes to get that. Feet meaning to be daring, not feet like in walking from here to there. I mean to be daring as in, you know, well, I have to be bold and I might have to give up some of my beliefs for what happen to be truths. That's a feat. So that's it on this. So think about it. Why is the seal in the eye? The apple of my eye. What is the apple? The apple represents the deception where the fall of man occurred.